Stacy.
Mr. Stacy D. Jackson, 644 Spokane Avenue South. This is the first time I'm hearing about, well, hello Mayor, hello Council. This is the first time I'm hearing about firing of chief of police and everything. It's kind of disheartening about that. I mean, like the gentleman said, we are short on officers. But the big point is, now you have citizens arguing against one another, and that's something that we really don't need. The citizens here have been through enough. Now we're short on officers. I don't think this city can take much more. I understand, Mayor, that you have a plan, but you need to talk with the council about your plan. So there'll be some foresight into what you're doing. Because right now, you're just having citizens arguing. They're screaming at you. We don't understand. Explain to us the reasoning why you want to do it. I understand what you're trying to do. The council probably don't, but we all need to be on the same page. The other thing that's disheartening is, why did you have Ken Barnett on the line when you were calling the police department? If you need help or you feel that your life is in danger by the other officers, you should be on the telephone, not Mr. Barnett. I mean, his job title is not secretary to the mayor. But this has to change. Look, the media's down here again. We're going to be in the news. It's going to say the city of Pacific is up to their same thing. We need to change. We have to make a change. Whether we like it, you like it, the council like it, but the citizens deserve more. Please, get the officers back on. We need them. And if you're going to make any more statements, talk for yourself. Don't use Mr. Barnett. Okay? Thank you.
Any other comments from the audience? Reports from the mayor. I have no reports at this time. Finance Committee.
Meeting tomorrow.
Community Senior Youth Services Director.
I can report. I have stuff I can report. I'll report since it's been so long because of being out. We are in both the senior and youth side of the house. We're working on getting schedules done on a quarterly basis, getting it scheduled out in advance for seniors. We've had the AARP tax rep come out as before the foot care is restarted. Touch of Home, which is the knitting group, is taking the lead at the Stand Down program. It's a veterans program. They're going to have a resource fair at Green River Community College. They've recruited the help of other organizations to provide lap blankets for veterans in need. Then they've had their various holiday celebrations. With the youth, we're moving forward with the summer meal site. We're have scheduled Skyhawk Summer Sports, which that will be on the workshop next week, to have the Skyhawks come in and do summer groups and schedule movie nights. As a whole, the computer lab, the cable has arrived, will be installed by the Public Works Director. We are talking with Green River Community College to provide an intern to run the computer lab like they did before. So that should be up and running soon. Fiber optics is all hooked up throughout the city. We have reviewed the rental agreement because of the new insurance. We are now requiring rentals to have event insurance. I filed the grant app Rampart for AEDs, the automatic electronic defibrillators. We did get a grant, so that will be at workshop next week. We're in receipt of a letter of understanding from P.C.S. to continue the senior lunch program through 2014, which is a good sign. We had a Metro audit, which we passed with flying colors. And we're organizing and coordinating, improving the food resources we give out at commodities, so we can provide to additional families, additional things. I've been tasked with grant writing. We're involved in moving forward with the CDBG grant for 2014. We're going after King County Parks and Rec grants to move forward with the parks planning. And we are moving forward with the Rural Development Grant for the sewer and manhole repairs.
Go ahead.
I've been asked to ask you, people want to know why they've been seeing you in the office instead of at the community services.
Well, two reasons, actually. On our job description, it says assignments as given by the mayor. And because we've been down the city clerk, I've been asked to help Betty with certain things that cannot be asked by union employees. It's not union employee work, so I'm not doing anything that I should not be doing. And also, I was helping to try and find a discrepancy in the financial report.
The last thing that you said was manhole covers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
There was a grant submitted in 2010 to the USDA Rural Development, and they notified us that if we update our numbers, they can discuss allocating the funds from the federal government. And I believe it's the West Hill Sewer Project, which also includes repairing 80 manholes throughout the city.
So I guess my question is, how in the world would that end up in your department?
I was assigned and asked, I was tasked the assignment from the mayor to make sure that it moves forward. And last year, I was part of a meeting with them, and so I know what's required, and we've been given a 30-day assignment. So working with parametrics to get it done will be a lot easier than trying to bring someone else up to speed.
Any other comments?
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Thank you. City Council report?
We got a couple. Well, one, she took care of one. But I am going to ask you, Mr. Mayor, you made a comment that the plates are legitimate in your wife's name because she's an Oregon resident. But I claim to differ on that issue. She's a registered voter in the state of Washington at your house.
She's not.
She is.
She changed it.
When? She was a registered voter when she applied, when you applied?
That's right. When I applied for being a mayor, yes, she was. Then she decided she had enough of Washington. She turned in her voter's registration, and
so she's Oregon plate, driver's license?
she has an Oregon driver's license.
Is your name on that car?
Yes.
So,
She's not an Oregon voter anymore.
she's not a Washington voter?
I mean, Washington voter. She's not a Washington. Does that answer your question?
We skipped public safety and public works on the agenda.
Pardon?
We skipped public safety and public works reports on the agenda.
He's not here. He's absent today.
Okay. Sergeant, do you have any report? Nothing.
So are we, I'm trying to decide if I bring it up here or under the investigative services for the whistleblower stuff. I've got some questions about the status of those investigations. Is that best right now, or is that best or?
I think it's best when we get to this.
Because I'm thinking more broader than just the investigative services. So why don't I go ahead and if it's all right with you, I'm gonna go ahead and ask those now. I see the attorney, I've got his attention.
Go ahead.
If you're intending to discuss the whistleblower, I'd like to read to you an email I got from the mayor. After my conversation with Pat Mason of MRSC, I am contacting you to advise you that no information will be divulged at the council meeting tonight. It is strictly confidential information that will not be disclosed nor discussed tonight. The council will be advised with status reports as the investigation moves forward, and to date, no information is available. Please advise the city of the risk to the city. Make sure the council is aware of the need to keep this strictly confidential. Deductible for employee-related claims is very high. I paraphrase that. And there is a potential for 4 separate claims if any detailed information is leaked to the public. I must advise the council at the request of the mayor that there be no discussion of any whistleblower complaints. Any confidential information will not be related to anybody at this meeting, nor will it be discussed, and should you do so, I will be asking you to please stop.
I had to.
So, is it appropriate for council to ask the mayor about the process?
You can ask the mayor anything about the process that goes on. You cannot discuss names, specifics, or facts, or reasons, or personnel, or issues involved in that investigation.
So, are you willing to answer questions about the process?
Yes.
So, if I can, how many whistleblower complaints do we have right now?
1.
Just one?
Yes.
Okay. And is that being investigated?
It's the investigated, let's put it this way. I appointed an investigator, and I need the council consent.
So is it being investigated?
No.
Okay. So last week, there were 2 civil service employees put on leave. Did you make sure that you followed the civil service rules for that? Ken, stop me if I'm asking.
Understand?
No. It's not. That's it. Yes.
Okay. And then one of those was a represented employee. Was our contract followed for that procedure for the represented employee as well?
Say it again?
One of the 2 that was suspended last week, both of them are civil service. One of them is also a union representative.
Yes.
And was the contract followed for that, for disciplinary action?
The union contract?
Yes.
We're having a discussion on that, and I can't give him any information at all, except that it conforms to the union contract.
Okay. And then the last question is, are you seeking and getting the legal advice you need from the city attorney as you go through this process?
That's what I did.
Okay. So you're consulting with him and getting advice from him about it?
Not advice yet, because we haven't even started into the investigation.
Okay. Okay.
Okay? Does it answer you?
Yes.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, then would you forward to me the information upon which you conducted the administrative leave for Lieutenant Massey and Chief Paulton, the basis for that, so I can have it?
I will.
Will you do so this week?
Yes.
And did you get my email that I indicated to you the civil service rules had not been followed in the termination or placing on administrative leave those 2 people?
The civil service rule has been followed. I was in a meeting with them with the last civil service meeting, and tomorrow night there'll be another meeting.
No, the Civil Service Rule 17 and Civil Service Rule 18 provide for a specific procedure to place a person that's employed by the city to suspend them. Did you follow those rules?
Yes, I followed those.
Mayor, that's not true.
Well, why don't you come to the meeting and find out?
No, this was before you placed them on administrative leave in which you suspended them. There are certain rules that they have to be told of the nature of the allegations against them. They have to be given the opportunity to have somebody with them, and it has to be done before you impose your suspension, and you did not do that.
I didn't do that, but I gave them the letter.
Thank you.
They had the letter to, for rebuttal if they wanted. They didn't rebuttal, so.
And again, this kind of goes along the same lines with James. If I'm overstepping, let me know. There was discussion last week about asking King County, a motion we made in August, asking King County to investigate. Can you provide a status? I don't remember seeing any update on that.
Once I became aware that it was my obligation to have that done, I have personally contacted the King County Sheriff. He is making a decision as to whether or not they have sufficient manpower to assist the city. I spoke with him today, I spoke with him this evening, and he will have an answer back to me tomorrow as to whether or not King County will be able to assist us in the whistleblower allegations made.
And would that motion include other whistleblower claims that have made since then, or would it only include that specific one?
It would include the same individual, but not different individuals.
Okay.
Is there any more discussion among the,
On an unrelated matter, we've been doing a little bit of looking preliminary for the Technology Committee into improvements to the audio system in here. Inductive loop technology would be quite affordable, probably less than $300 to have a system installed. Additional microphone capacity, while not optimal, could be installed for probably less than $100. So it's, I believe, within the adopted budget for you to have a microphone for every council member and to have hearing aid support in the audio system. I don't believe any council action would be required for that. It's a fairly low-level purchase.
can I, include my, point of interest? Because of the damages in my brain and the right side of my mastoid, I've been working with the University of Washington, and I thought of having the audio system modified, and I decided not to do it until I get the results from the University of Washington. And we carried the experiment on the earphone that aggravates the malfunction condition. What happened is that the right side of my mastoid is completely damaged, has been for 60 years, and they're really using me as a guinea pig to find out how on earth I'm living because of the severe damage. Now, I'm going through tests, and from what we did as far as the earphone, it doesn't work. it bounces back and forth. Right now, I have a hard time hearing in back there because the sound bounces and you can't do anything about that unless we change this whole building into an acoustic building. And that costs thousands of dollars. So, right now we're working on another approach, and that is to carry the sound from my right ear over to my left by transformation. And that is going into an experimental stage. It'll be about another couple of months before we get to that. Then I'll know whether we should make improvements into our audio system.
I've got a question for Josh. Would that be a loop induction system you would be considering?
Yes, that would be a standard induction loop transmitter with a coil designed for about a 400 square foot coverage area, so it wouldn't cover the entire room, but if we put it, if we could have everybody with hearing aids in the front row, it'd cover council and the front row or two. Obviously a larger system would cost a bit more, but if we're trying to save money, it's doable as something that just plugs into the line out of the existing system. You can, if you need to, you can do the tape, tape the wire down temporarily with gaffer's tape until you get around to replacing the carpet in here and have the system in a day.
Yeah. I would like to see that go forward because there are others besides the mayor that have hearing difficulties, and all modern hearing aids will pick up the induction loop system.
If you haven't already, could you put together a written proposal that gives as specific a recommendations as you can to the mayor, fully armed with information?
Yeah, I think we would probably want to go to this is all based just on pricing it out online, so probably we would want to find a local dealer and get a package proposal from them. But, yeah, we'll do.
Thank you.
I appreciate your initiative, but my thought is that I'm on the same page you are, but I wanted to wait until the results come in, because then if we're going to remodel the audio system, don't remodel because of me, because at that time there could be a hearing fix for me. I don't know.
I think we've pretty well covered this issue. I've got a question for the mayor. Did you discuss with the two police the grounds or reason for placing them on suspension?
He asked if you discussed with the two suspended police officers the grounds for the suspension. Is that what you asked? He asked if you discussed the grounds for the suspension with the two police officers that you suspended.
No. I just wrote them a letter. I have nothing to discuss until the investigation is done. Okay, the next item is the committee boards. Park board. Public Works is absent. Civil Service is not here. Planning Commission, none. South King County Transportation Board. P.C.S. County Regional Council. The SCA.
We don't meet for another couple of weeks, but I did attend the Sound City networking dinner last Wednesday that they had at every 2 weeks. And King County Executive, Dr. Constantine, was there, kind of giving a state of the rest of the county and the state that it's in. But anyway, I appreciate the opportunity to be able to attend those networking meetings. The next meeting will be held, in April, I believe it is April 13th.
Okay, for the, Valley Regional Fire Authority, I'll read to you the 911 request for service. On